Oh, hi. Let's get stuck into the hubbub. See what's happening. I might do kind of more like chill ambient with a beat today. That might be cool. So we should check our drum beat here and make sure the tempo is good and all of that stuff. Nope, not that kick drum. I actually dig that. That's really cool. Okay, how about a rhythm change? Hey Vic, welcome back. Now I don't like that kick drum. A little crispier on the hats. Tiny bit off. Trying to get the delay time perfectly timed to an eighth note. Yeah, we're of course not going to run that to the delay. Okay, I kind of dig that. That's really cool. But I would say let's change up the snare pattern a little bit. Hey, that's a great place to start, man. Okay. So, one thing I do want to do tonight is some weird noises and shit. So, I'm thinking of more of a generative ambient that kind of devolves or evolves into something with a bit more beat, which seems nifty. Just do not make a clear sound. Damn. It won't even do that. Boo! That's alright. We can do other things. Well, and then so here's your other option, right? Is you get a 6U rack brute, right? Mounted over your mini brute, and then you get like the Behringer MS-20 modular clone, and then you just mount it in the case, and then you add some modules to it. You know that's a good plan. Well, that kind of breaks my idea. I was going to put some really kind of interesting, trippy background weirdness. And now I can't because reasons. Okay. I'm going to do a quick thing then here. Actually, do I even need to do that? No, I don't need to do that. Especially if I use the roads, because the roads is already not hooked up. It's not hooked up. Oh, that's right. I hooked it around the shelf here so that I could just grab the cable. I was smart. But then I forgot that I was smart. Hey, Sean. There. There's that guy. Okay, now that means that my roads can now be patched into the modular. God damn it, I love that thing. But hey, Nick. I don't know. I think I did. But then here's the problem, right? It auto saves. Every time you stop it, it auto saves. So it doesn't really it didn't work. Let's put it that way. It didn't work. And I can't believe I can't find any information about that. That's what pissed me off. I was literally searching for probably a solid 30 minutes, like going through forum posts, searching documents, doing the whole thing. And I could have sworn at some point he said there's a way to save a file as a template. And then, I guess you have to just rename it or something. I don't know, man. It's really annoying, though, I'll tell you that much. But what I do get is how to use scenes and things like that, which is really, really, really cool. Because at the very minimum, one of the things that I almost always do, and I'm going to do today, so I'm going to let's put this in action. um, is um, mute or unmute a subsequence. Oh, he talks about it on a video. Rat shit. That makes sense. Mute a subsequence, right? And like unmute a whole part. And so the simple thing is you set up a preset for like my part 1, which is my bass usually, right? I set up a preset. One of those has the subsequence enabled and one of them has it turned off. That's it. They're just a copy. And each one just plays forever. And then you go into your scene manager and you load a scene as like, okay, well, this time you're just going to play that preset. Even if you don't change anything on any of the other ones, you can still use the scenes thing to like switch back and forth with performance modes. And it's super duper slick. Kenneth, that has happened to me a few times. Not a lot. Not every time. I remember a few pure, and honestly, weirdly enough, they were playing jazz. Just real pure musical moments that was just like you were one with the tone and your fingers were keeping up. And you were just channeling. I had a few times like that, and it was like a super trip. You know, you're not needed there. But I should use that modulation thing. Yeah, anyways, so speaking of which, here is what I want to do. This kind of just came together just now, playing on the roads, going from A major to F major. But I don't know if I can... Can I do it? Can I do it? Scale-wise is what I'm thinking. A major to F major to E minor. That's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be real tricky. Okay, anyways, before I do anything else, I want to do this, but shitballs. How do we do this the easiest way? To duplicate this signal into the Preterio Versio. I want to duplicate it because here, you guys get out of there, bastard. Let's double check it first and make sure that it's not super duper hot and overloading things. It is. It is. The gain is too high. Okay. Pull this. Okay. No. I mean, they get warm. They definitely put out some BTUs, you know? That's for sure. This we don't really need then. All right. Now, what we do need to do then is hook up that there filter to that there mixer. And I'm going to use the sequential. There's a couple settings on the Zagreb that are actually really nice, unlike the length of those cables. Zing! Got him. Okay. Let's put this here. This is going to be kind of a... Yeah. Now, I avoided C sharp completely. Okay? So I think maybe the solution is to try to make a custom scale. So, how do I do that? Scale 01. Okay, how do I make a scale? I know there's a way. This is all USB and stuff. Can I go to like a different thing here? No. Or do I have to do it per part? Like, do I have to go into like the sequence control? Tuning. Normal? No, we just want normal, I think. Yeah. This is not a tuning thing. Okay, I hate to do this, but I need to look up a piece of information. It's kind of annoying. So let's at the very least modulate this so that it doesn't drive you crazy with its static nature. I mean, I did promise you ambient music. Okay, now I need to look this up. Let's get the Manuel. Key scales and tuning. Look at that. It's on that page that it opened up to.
Thank you.
8 user scales. And you select one of these scales. Where? All sequence controls. You'd think this would be a global though, but it's not. It's weird. User scales. Built-in scales, there are 8 user scales, U1 to U8. Okay. So if I go to global, see, this doesn't do a thing. So it doesn't, I don't understand. So if 2 parts are set to U1, then any changes to U1 will apply to both parts. Oh, so it must be in the sequence control stuff here. Scale. Are these the user ones? Yeah. Here it is. So let's go user 1. And then what we can do is go like A, B, C sharp, D, E, F, G. That's going to be our scale, okay? No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Shit. It's not going to work. Damn. Okay, nah. Yeah, screw it then. We're just going to go chromatic. We're just going to do this in the chromatic scale then. And, you know, what this means in a very real sense is when programming notes, I'm going to have to avoid the third and the seventh quite a bit. And then whatever I do as far as chords, that's going to carry the harmony. Okay. So, pardon me. Hey, Jamin Peace. So let me get some nice happy pad chords going. All right. Well, let's get some System 8 going in here. That's a chord. If I'm careful, you should be able to hear this for a second at least before I record it. Otherwise it'll feedback and it'll be horrible. Yeah, like that. The nice thing about doing this is that it's already hooked up. So all we got to do now is move our playhead. Why are you not playing? Oh, because Because I don't have you generating grains, because I'm an idiot. Is that F? Or A? No. No, it's not. Okay, hang on a second. Son of bitch! Motherfuck biscuit shit fuck! Perfectly in tune. Yeah, that's better. Silly R-bar. Get that Boards of Canada action going, yo. Got that Boards of Canada action. You know, I do want to use some sloths tonight, so let's just hook one up. And then let's hook one up to the thing that's also hooked up to the thing. You know that thing? Let me give that a little CV, a little massage. Just a little outside. Had to do it. That's the A121S stereo doper. So we're doing some funky chords. I gotta be a little bit careful with reverb, to be honest. Oh, we also gotta do this. Okay, now let's get an actual like bass part going here. My modular grid, by the way, is linked in the title description. So if you want to look at any info on anything, I keep it updated reasonably. I think we get like just a... I should have just left the damn thing patched because, you know, I'm gonna do it again. Why?
Because we loves it.
And we do. And that would be the chainsaw with an added octave below. Going into some sort of lovely filter. Leave us use the neutron filter for tonight. Yeah, it is a very nice filter. It has a space advantage on the font, and they're in like the same price range, but very different character. I would say the Dopefer doesn't really enjoy getting overdriven. It sounds like it's dying. Let's chill on this stuff for a second. Just a second. Yeah. We should be hearing... Well, no, we're not going to hear anything because I don't have any notes patched. Let's just be like... yeah, that would be the only thing I really don't like about it. It's, once you get used to kind of the quirks of the CV, there's a shitload of CV, so there's a lot of interesting things that you can do. But like the naming conventions more than anything. That's pretty easy. Like SFM1, CFM, SFM2, Delta FM, Delta F, and it's like, what? Other than that, yeah, I don't have any issues with it. But I have caused it to break up before just by giving it like way too hot of a signal with the input gain up too high, and it did not like that at all. it was not happy. It didn't sound good distortion. It sounded like, you know, it was like tearing. So, notes, play. Well, that's really weak. That's not. No, we need this longer. Wrong? What is wrong with you? Something is wrong with this, the vector. I think I need to reset it or something. Without turning off the entire rack. I think it's, yeah, it's shift. No, we don't want to go into USB disk mode though. Just want it to restart and not be weird, because I couldn't change notes. They were just going up, and that was weird. And it's still doing it. Yeah, we want to put this back on chromatic. I think that's what's going on. It's very confused. Yeah, that was the issue. All right. So that's a really, really, really low note. That B flat sounds nasty. Oh. Sounds like it's gonna come to your house and do something terrible to you. No, we can't go. We can't go there. Too serial killer for tonight. I also want to go over here. No, I like the A. I like the second A. Okay, now, but here's the thing, right? We stop it, and then we just... And then we have our drone, right? So as long as the vector is not running, we don't have a part. Which, you know, makes sense. Let's put a little bit of... Put a little bit of your modulation in the bass. Da-dun, da-dun. Okay, we should be getting a little tiny bit. Oh, but it's clocked. Oh. Well, shit. Now what? The plan falls to pieces. No, we just give it some sloths. Let's just do unclocked. It doesn't matter. Clocked would be cool, but, you know, fine. It's fine. It's good. Alright, subsequence time. We're just going to do whole notes this time. Transpose on. This will be very, very sneaky. Oh, hi, bass. Should still have music on. I think that's it. So we only need it to be 4 steps long. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to disable the subsequence, right? And then we're going to go into our preset menu here. Yeah. And then we'll do... copy a preset into a location. Here we're going to enable it. So if I go to here and I go to A1, subsequence is off, sequence is slightly different. Alright, so let's hear it. Alright, so then we go like here. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, no. You're all wrong, buddy. Yeah, because you went back to an eighth note. That's why. It's a completely different part. I want to keep it the same, like, feel. I don't want to double time here. But the other thing is that the subsequence is all wrong. It's way too low. So instead of going down 4 half steps, I'm going to have to go up 8. And then up 7. Alright, let's hear. Sounds horrible. Oh, because it's doing weird shit, that's why. Only 4 steps long. That whole thing is an octave too low. Yeah. Got to follow, be like, I think we can coax it to do that. I think we can do that. Okay, you guys can shut up for now. I think we can definitely coax it to do that. However, preset A1 needs to go up an octave also. Cannot forget that. No, it doesn't. Huh. Okay, that's weird. Well, I'm, the vector. Yeah, for sure. But I like second place would for sure go to the melodizer. I love it. Its limitation is that it has one channel, and so I got 2. It's a sickness, I tell you. Let's set up our track 6 here. Now, here's the thing, though. This guy might be set up. No, it's not. Good. So we're gonna make a 4-note track. That's a whole note long. We're going to use this as our control track for the R bar. So it starts at a C3. If you give it a C3, it'll do the bass layer. So if you go up approximately a fifth, I think technically it's an F sharp. So I'm gonna basically go up like a fourth or a fifth. So C3, G3, C4, and then G4 for this top one. And it should control the thing perfectly fine once we give it a cable. That's right. One cable coming your way. It's flexible. It's rubbery. It really is. I like these little cables. You need to go there. Okay. Now, if we hit the magic go button here, theoretically, it should just go. There's a miscalculation. No, there's not. Something wrong. Are they not synchronized? I don't think they're synchronized. And also, I don't like this bass sequence at all. How would this sound here? No, that's weird. There we go. Yes, 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 yes. And then if we wanted to, here's what we do, right? Okay. Chill for a second. What we do then is we set up a scene here. Make sure this is set to, no, we don't want to do play for 4 bars. We just say play for forever. So it just does its thing, right? Okay, and then we go to scene edit, right? So scene 1, we've got part A1, yada yada yada. Here in I hope this works. If that part is muted, is it going to go back to the beginning? It could go back to the pink either way. That'd be okay. But if it just stays where it's at on like an E minor chord forever and ever and ever, that'd be a real bummer, man. I wouldn't like that. Not one bit. It would break my brain. Well, let's try it. So here, this guy is going to be, oh, Jesus, what was it? I forget. Muted. This guy? No. Do the thing. Do the thing. Here. There. Yeah, you just turn the thing to a rest. That's right. And then here, part 6 is just going to be just like A1 is fine. Okay, so it's either muted or it's like A1. So now theoretically, I should be able to go here and go start. this did not change back to reset. What we could do is just set up another preset, and this is where it gets confusing. So if we set up a preset A2, now theoretically, if I go to part 6, it's getting random notes for no reason at all. So what we do is we just give it a C3, and we just make it like whatever. We can make it 2 steps long and just turn the gate off on everything else. So now just boom. Hey, it didn't do it. Buddy, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do it? What's up with that? Is that voltage too high for you? You need it lower? No? This is part 6. I'm on part 6. Something is wrong. Oh, part 6 is muted. Why? Now you're back to normal. Okay. So then we go back into our scene editor and we just like go like here. Okay. And then our sequence changes and the vector and the R bar, follows. Huzzah! We have control. We have ultimate control. We have assumed control. Okay, cool. I don't want to do too many voices tonight. I tell you what. I might just stick with like 3 or 4 more. And just let things play through delay. The number one thing, though, the number one thing that fans want is more Demon Core, god damn it! And they're not wrong. But I've found a really, really, really nice combination lately. That is mono. Demon Core through the E490. And then into a chorus. And it's instant 80s pads, all in one patch, for you today. That's right, you too can have instant 80s pads. Here we go. What do we do? Let's just, I think slow. We can always control things in a different way. How is this gonna work? Oh, this is only gonna work. Oh shit. So this is only gonna work with presets. Okay. With presets, we can do interesting things now. Oh shit. Oh, okay. I have a challenge for myself then. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a four note part, right? We're going to go just gate on all of these boys. In fact, we can even almost tie them. That would be pretty sexy. Sorry I said that. I really am sorry I said that. I did not mean to say that. That's the dumbest thing ever. But it would. Yeah, presets are useful. Shut up. Okay. I've been resistant, okay? And purely through laziness. So here's what we do. We set up some nice big 4-note chords, all right? And then yeah, okay. God damn it. I never remember which is the edit button, and for some reason, I have like a mental block. I never press the right button. Curse my not pressing the button. Okay, what do we want to do? We're going to go up a fifth, for sure. Number 1. And then we're going to go up an octave. And then we're going to go up we're going to start at a major third above. And this guy's going to go up to a fourth. And maybe we go down to a second above. That should be cool, bro. Let's try it here. Why you no make noise? Oh, filter down. We need 4-note polyphony, damn it. There we go. That should do the trick. Next time it hits here at the measure. Ha! See, I told you! That's lovely. I don't know if I even hear much of a difference without the chorus. Hey, where's the low note? Okay. Do I need to re-trigger the gate each time? Is it being a doofus? I bet it is. So let me just crank the release time. Yeah, and let it blur a little. I kind of think lower. Okay, now here's the thing though, right? Right. So now we go to A2. Now. Ooh! Something funky happened. This is actually almost similar to what I had in mind, to be honest. But no. Instead, let's make sure it's set to whole note. Yes. So then we just go like this, this, this. Then all this shit needs to be cleared out because it's bogus, bro. First of all, these guys are gonna be both. Now we need to edit bass pitch first. A5, A5, F5, E5. Okay. So now we got to make some custom chords, but I'm still going to do that same root fifth octave for the bass note here. So, what is this? What are you? So we're going to go up 7, and then we're going to go up 12. And then here, we can go up 12 plus 4. And we'll just keep it the same for 2. Here we also do 12 plus 4. These are half steps, by the way. Here we do 12 plus 3. Okay? So we're going to hit that minor third on the E, and we're going to reinforce that shit. Oh, you're way too high still. I'm losing the low note again. I don't understand you. Why? Okay, let's go all the way back to 4. We absolutely need 4 notes. Maybe we actually... Oh, they're tied. That's one of the reasons it's happening. Yeah. Okay. So now we go to our scene edit. And we go scene 2. This is going to be preset A2. Okay. Right now it's preset A1 that we are playing, I think. Right? Yeah, this is A2 that's playing. So if we go to scene and we go boing and we go back to normal, now we're here. It's also an octave higher, which is kind of nifty. And I didn't realize that that's the case. Actually, I kind of like it down still. Yeah. Much better. Because I don't really want that to be a massive change. Okay, and then we go back to part 1. And we just chill, see? Because now it's there. Alright, we need more parts. Mo parts. Like I said, I don't want to make a ton of parts, though. Let's do something in 11. Tell you what, it's a pain in the ass editing sequences manually when it's in chromatic. Okay. We were doing a thing. Hey, I'm gonna have a conversation while I'm doing this, so I'm gonna mute my microphone. Okay, now I need to transfer this. Why is it playing A2 right now? See, this shit is just weird that it starts out and it's like, oh, A2, you're a thing, you exist. What? I don't approve of that. See. Okay, so here's where things get a little bit tricky, right? Damn it. One thing we have to do before we leave this preset is make sure that the subsequencer is off. It doesn't matter because it's not going to actually... The subsequencer is not even going to be on. But we might as well just do a thing. And then when we go to that preset A1... Okay, no, we're in preset A1. So now if we go to preset A2... Okay, now what's A1? It's nothing. Okay, so here is where we gotta work some magic. We're gonna do a totally different sequence, I think. I think we're gonna make it like 5. Or we're gonna make it, we're gonna avoid the 3rd at all costs. Okay, so... B. I'll put like a high D. And then like a high A. And then a really high E. This might be weird. In that case, we're going to have to make it 6. Okay. And then we are going to have to say subsequence here, pitch 2. Okay, that's already on. Good. Good. Good job, buddy. Now, what the fuck is 3? What is A3? What is your dilly, bud? Who are you? Why are you here? A3, you should not exist. Okay, it doesn't matter. Even if you exist... Okay, so we want each of these guys to just play for forever. And, like, just do their thing, you know? Because you can set it up to automate, to go from preset to preset. And just, like, do thing, do thing, do thing, do thing. Bounce back and forth. Play this one 4 times, then go to this one. Play that one 4 times, and then go to this one. Play that one forever. Forever. Okay, so then, theoretically now, if we go back to our scene editor... You know? Jesus. Okay, so now we go down here's. We go to this guy, and we're going to go to part A1 in part 3. Preset A1 in part 3. Okay, so let's test the theory here, because you have to. Here we go. Basic preset here. Somebody's not in tune. Tuning on this thing is really sensitive too. Let me just jack these up. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Okay, then we go to scene 2. Oh, there's something funky in there. Yeah, this guy. I mean, it's not strong. Oh, wait. I'm missing a beat here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to not make this thing follow the subsequencer. We're going to not make it change chords. We're just going to make it a really dank part that works over all three of these chords. This is the solution to the problem. Because that stuff sounded nasty. Okay? Just know. Let me think here. There is no way to make this happen. Not in the way that I want to. It's really annoying. Actually, no, there is. There's a really long and complicated way to make this happen. Okay, I'm going to try to make this as short as possible then. Here's what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is put this guy in major, okay? Because I'm tired of editing sequences like in, you know, all of the things. Yeah, that's way too high. Actually, I don't want major. I want mixolydian. Yeah. So then we want this G, and then we want the high A. Yeah. And we make it 7, not 6. Okay. Now, that's part 3, preset 1. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to big brain this whole thing, and it's just not super duper successful in the way that I want this to happen. This is not going to work well. I have an idea. Okay, here's my idea. Let me try to execute this idea here. Okay, so this is our thing, right? But we cannot have this going over everything. Okay, because that C sharp just instantly clashes and it's really awful. Okay. So now I'm gonna go to like the preset like editor duaki, and I'm gonna go A1, play for how many bars? We want 2 bars. And then we want to go to A3. And then on A3, we're going to say, play for 2 bars, and then we're going to loop to A1. Right? Now, we also have to go back to A3 and edit this so that it's better. So in A3, I don't know what the hell that is. It's just some random thing that it splatted in there. Thanks, buddy! No. I just want basic gates. Well, the problem is that custom scales don't work. Like, one scale does not work for the strong chord tones for all three of those chords. Although I could have just made a more complicated scale now that I think about it, because I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot, I say. I'm an idiot. No, this is the way. Okay. Everything else should work the same. Will it? Yeah, it should. Okay, so hang on here. Hang on a second here. Hang on a second. We found this, right? We found this. It was in this area. The user scales. So if we instead go and put C and C sharp, in there, that should still work. All my other stuff is specified by half step. And all the other parts are fine the way they are. I don't have to change anything else. But this would certainly make things a little bit easier. Because then we could just make it susceptible to the subsequencer. And it is. Okay. I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to see. Okay, well, that's a terrible part, for one thing. So let's change that. Oh, it's really confused now. Okay, yeah, it's back to this shit. It's back to this navigation issue. Or did I black out the wrong notes? I think I did. I think it's exactly opposite of what I need. That's why. Yeah, I bet you that's what's going on. It's just being really, yeah. There's your solution. Maybe program your scale correctly, doofus. Oi. If we did that, like so, let's hear those. Okay. Now, if we go to... It's not changing for some reason. There's something wrong in that one right there. And that is in dang old preset A3. Dang it, buddy. It's that B. That B is turning into into crap. I don't know if this will work. Let's try it. It's not doing the full thing yet here. Okay, so let's go back to scene 1. And now if we go to scene 2. Yeah, that works. I missed the second. Okay, let's make one more part. And I don't think it needs to be nearly as involved as all this. With the presets and the glaive and... Why? Why did you program me to fail pain? Yeah. Okay. Let's do a blue part, because... Oh, I also do have the Stardust. I was going to put something in there, to be honest. To be completely honest. And I don't know if it'll work super duper well. But, you know what? If not... Ain't end of the no world. Yeah. Okay. Let's actually... absolutely positively patch this guy up. Let's use bigger cables too. Actually, it doesn't matter because we're going to do sort of like limited voices tonight. This is a mini stream, I guess you'd call it. Why are you so quiet? Oh, because the filters are all the way open. Or closed. Okay, now, what we need to do here is find out in the globals in the vector which, no, this is not what I want. I want to here. Your outputs, your triggers. Oh, sorry, wrong page. CV outs. None of you are set to 4. What's up with that? Okay. Trigger 6 is set to 4 whole notes. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So, what we want to do is time this. Let's add the bass along with it here. No. Needs to start a little bit later. No. Nope. I missed it. Nope. There it is. Okay, okay, buddy. Buddy. Okay, now we need to address the something in here. Okay, yeah. Chill, dude. Chill, buddy. Chill. Okay. In fact, let's just chill everything here. I want to double check this too. Good. Still working? Good? Okay. Okay, one more voice. Let's get something kind of gross. How about that? Let's use the plume. Oh, I have an idea. I have a good idea. Let's use the plume with a melodicer. Yes. The melodicer is the greatest thing ever. Except for its limitations. Giant cable, Jesus Lordy, get out of my face. Get out of my face! And actually, there's a really good filter for it right there. Why am I carrying all of these cables? What I want are these little bitty slim lines. Yeah. So you will reach. And actually, now that I think about it, I think I want to run this through the sea legs anyways, so it doesn't even have to reach that far, so it doesn't matter. Go here. We go here. Ooh, pounding. Some sort of terrible pounding noise. There's always things exploding in this building. Who knows what's going on? That guy. That guy. That guy. Then we go with this guy. Thing. Unless we find that it just sounds like crap, in which case we won't use the plume, because right now it's not really doing much for me. your problem. Some gentle massaging action on this, so I'm going to set up just a little bit of stochastic function generator modulation. It works really well for this guy. Or in the fold. What about medium? It's the slow. Let's do another one. Again. I was going to say, we should start hearing some really good harmonic movement. Settle down, buddy. Still on wild. You're very loud now. Okay, that's gonna have to be. We're gonna have to be careful. I think it's jam time. We're just gonna keep it super duper simple. And tonight is not a long stream. It was never intended to be. Nor shall it be. Ever again. But let's make this shit green. Because it feels like a green day. Yup. We are going to start in ambient land for a little while. Photosensitive viewer warning. No, the distortion you hear was the sea legs clipping. Not good. Not nice. I've been having issues with that thing a lot. So I'm sending it the... Oh, well, there's part of your problem. There's your problem. These guys are not. They're at plus 6 dB gain. They should not be. They should be normal. But these guys should not be distorting this delay. And there you go. And it doesn't sound good. This is not pleasant distortion. Actually, that was kind of cool. Oh, that's what it is. So it's that distortion with the fog on. That's what's happening. I think there's a way to make the fog happen before the VCA. This is not unpleasant. If we get a little clipping at the delay, I'm okay with that. See, without the fog on, it's just pleasant. Damn it. Lesson learned. I just hear a little bit more, just like, thank you. Okay, that's all I needed. Yeah, that plume voice made me very happy. That was a really, really nice one. So, anyways, I'm out of here. Next session, Friday. Yeah, and now you know. Well, I'm going to look into that because I think there's a way to reroute the signal internally that you can just, like, put the fog before the final VCA or before the input gain, maybe? I don't know. That might be insane. So, yeah. There you go. So, see you Friday.